Hello again. Welcome to this corner of my garage, which is really untidy, isn't it?
Everyone has a corner of despair.
I know.
In their garage.
I've got to do this garage up. I want it to be like a studio.
Been saying that for years.
I know. It's going to happen. It's not going to happen this year anyway. Anyway, today, now that we have this bike here, this new RT.
These lovely big panniers.
Yeah, with the big panniers. I am going to fit some smaller panniers.
Da, da, da.
Yeah, shock horror. So one of the big things, I do like these panniers actually, but I like the thinner panniers. I'm not going on tour. Why do I need to have massive panniers on there all the time? So I found a company online called Hornig. Some of you might know them.
Hornig, are they German?
Hornig.
Hornig.
Hornig. And I spoke to them and bought with my own money. Some of you are going to be
Apart from using somebody else's.
Yeah,
What else's money have you got?
I thought I ought to use my own money, but I have bought, and they call them, now what's the actual name of them? I think they're called pannier flats.
Oh.
But you'll understand it in a second. They are flat lids.
Wow.
So for those of you who don't want the big bulbous lids that come out like that all the time, there is an option. Now these, they look very shiny, but they do say in their literature and online that these are not finished. They need to be finished in some way. So we're going to put them on and show you, but we might actually just put one side on actually, because I need to get this top bit painted, because I think it needs to be white to match the top of there, just so it looks like it's all in there. Or I could just put them on there black. We'll have a look to see what it looks like. But they're really simple to fit. And the worrying thing being is that it just shows you how infallible these panniers are.
With all their central locking and all
Yeah.
this is 4 screws.
4 bolts on the bottom. However, there are nuts in there that you can't get to unless you've got them open. So I guess that's a saving grace, but not on all of them. Really easy to fit, but it's fitted with all the hardware, so it will fit in and lock. You haven't got to change any locks or anything about any function on the bike. It's just literally a take off and replace, and it's all even got this lovely, lovely strip to seal it as well.
Wow. They've thought of everything, Hornig.
Yeah, so should we have a go at fitting them?
Let's do it.
Yeah, can't catch anything on fire.
4 days later we'll show you the rest of the video.
Yeah. Right, so we've taken the panniers off. Now there's a couple of things you need to do. So come back out again, Mark.
Oh.
A couple of things you need to do. So this thing needs to come off, and it's really odd because it's like a rectangle, and the hole is at an angle. So to get it out, you angle it, pull it out. Couldn't be simpler, and you're not going to lose it because it's on the reel. But what we need to do is get to these bolts on the bottom. So whatever you do, don't take the bolts off on the main carcass, take the bolts off of the actual lid, otherwise you won't be able to put the lid on the lid, if that makes sense. So you need a 25mm Torx wrench and an 8mm spanner.
Wow.
But you can't do it like this because you have to get into the bottom to unscrew, but you also have to unscrew the two, or get to the 2 bolts, and there's one on each side. So you can see both top and bottom, there's a bolt on each hinge, so it's impossible to undo it from on the bike without it being unlocked and open. So we're going to remove it and then put the new one on, and it's that simple. Right, we've put the flat lid on.
Hang on.
So hopefully you'll be able to see that. We've just bolted it back on. That's it. With the original bolts. So there is no issue there. So all I need to do is put this cord in there, and then
Hopefully it will close.
hopefully it will close. Look at that.
That is quite a difference.
It is, isn't it? Let's put it on the bike. You can tell I've had this bike a long time, can't you?
That's pretty cool, actually.
That is a lot thinner, isn't it? I mean, we've taken a good, what, 5 inches?
Easy, yeah.
or 4 inches off.
Would you like to measure it?
Yeah, I haven't got a tape measure in here.
So that is about 4.5, 5 inches, 6 inches. So you've taken basically the whole of most of the out of.
Yeah. Now,
That's pretty cool, actually.
let's see them open, shall we? So nothing changes in the way that it opens, although I'm not overly impressed with the fact that the gap there is smaller than the gap up here. And if you come over here, Mark, that's going to let water in, isn't it? It's almost like it's...
Well, just close it again.
That's where it needs to be. I reckon that that would let water in, you know. We'll have to try it and see what happens.
Do you have a torch?
Yeah. In my handy box here.
So if you shine a light up from underneath.
Perhaps not.
Well, I don't think it does. I think it's just the...
Oh, it just goes down. You can see the metal there, so it's... Perhaps it needs to be just loosened and wangled into place. Is that a word?
Wangled it is now, mate.
Oh, yeah, because the strip is below it. So the water's going to naturally run in this channel down here, isn't it? Not through there, because that's actually sitting.
So it's a seal against seal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
then that brings it in. So
You could, when you put that down, then you could feel it actually level it, adjust itself.
yeah.
Happy? Oh no! Look at that frown.
Well, I am actually. I think it reduces the overall dimension, because lots of people are worried.
It does.
Especially on these bikes, they're really worried. But if you look at the front, the profile of the front of the bike, the panniers, the normal panniers, are probably only about that much wider.
Sorry, I went away from you then because I'm trying to work out. You can't see it very well, but I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, because lots of people are worried, aren't they, about the normal size panniers, because the profile of the bike's like that from the front. And they think the panniers are out here, but they're only like that much wider, if that.
I'll be absolutely honest with you. On the blood bikes, we've got 2 of these bikes that are like civvy bikes, if you want.
Yeah.
They've got the big panniers on them, and it's never been a problem for filtering for them.
And I filtered with this.
Yeah, easy.
Really easy. I filtered with the GSA. We did it for hours after we went up and did the Scotland ride to the Iron Butt, didn't we?
It's not a problem.
So should we fit the other side and show you what it looks like with both of them done? So now we have fitted these beautiful flat lids.
Hang on a minute. Is there a continuity issue here? Are we still wearing the same clothes?
I don't know. We might have changed our clothes. We might have changed our clothes, but we had a bit of an issue with one of them when we were fitting it. So they replaced that lid, which is brilliant, and now we've got both lids and they're fitted.
And this is Hornig, isn't it?
This is Hornig. Yeah, only one Hornig.
Yeah. Well, because there's 2 panniers.
I think they're about 400 quid if you were to buy them outright. I didn't spend 400 quid, but I did spend my own money on them.
On the panniers or the whole?
No, on the doors.
Wow.
Just on the doors.
400 quid.
Yeah. They come really well packed, but look at them.
Wow.
They really do look quite good. The only thing that they're made really well, and they're the same as the BMW latches and stuff, and they've got a holder for this to go on, and you can see that it takes off all that space. But it's really strange because that one fits really, really well. This one does fit well, but you kind of got to push it in. Well, I suppose it does fit well. I was looking at I was looking at it earlier on and thought there was a bit of a gap through there where I didn't think there was a gap on the old, just along here where there was on the original ones, but it's all sealed. I mean, that seal that's inside, I don't know whether we showed them, but that seal is really thick. I mean, that must be 1/4 of an inch all the way around, and it fit. They've obviously done their work well because it fits right inside this rim. I
They
think
do
they
look
look
very
quite
smart,
good.
actually.
I want to get this bit white with RiderCamTV on it just to match the rest
It's
of the
hard to
bike,
see,
but
so if you show us the old one.
yeah, it's the other way round. But this is moulded into the actual door. Now they do say when the doors come, they're like primed and they're not ready, so there might be a couple of scratches or things on them, which is a bit strange. For that money, you'd think that they would say, "What colour are you?" And I'd go, "Well, I'll have them in white, please," and they would do them in white. There's a lot of money in it.
Well, I don't know how much you paid, but yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
But you can see it. You'll have to come around the other side because I've got the wrong pannier out. But you can see the width that it saves you,
Wow.
which is quite a lot, isn't it?
Because the RT panniers are really, really quite big. But, you know, you can still filter with them.
Well, they
It's
are
not a
big,
problem.
but I think people get over fixated on the fact they got these big panniers hanging out. We've filtered on GSAs with massive boom op boxes on the M5, the M4, God knows where, without issue. I think it's in the head more than
It
anything
is,
else.
definitely.
But it's quite nice because I didn't want these
So if
bulbous
you just pull
ones
that
on
away
there.
so we can see it, and we can see the actual width of it. Wow.
Yeah,
That is-
so they're really tiny, aren't they?
So you lose all that extra space, but if you don't need that space...
Well, you're losing what?
Oh, you want me to do that?
15 centimetres, 20 centimetres?
Oh, I can't do it like that. I can do it in inches in my hands, so about 4.5 inches.
Yeah, about that. Scientifically proven. So, yeah, I really like them. It'll be interesting to see what they like to ride with. I don't think you're not going to feel any different when you're riding on them, but for some people that want something slimmer that don't use all of the space in the pannier, it obviously does cut down the size of the pannier. So when you look inside,
Well, you're losing the door, that's all you've
you're
lost.
losing the door. So you're cutting it right off, aren't you?
But it's still enough to tour with, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so.
I would say, well, Barney's panniers there, 20 litres. I've toured with Barney. And I'd do it again.
Good.
But I tell you what, if they were, the only thing I would love about BMW, or like BMW to take note of, I don't know what I'm saying.
Do you need to think that through?
Yes,
Write
I've
the script
thought it
again.
through very quickly, because we don't script anything, as you know. I would really like BMW to say, there's lots of people buying these ex-police bikes because of the functionality of the panniers and the hump. I quite like it. It's a selfish bike, ride yourself, don't take any pillions. But they open out. If they said, we'll make the police spec bike, obviously with no lights, no auxiliary circuit, but just the boxes and the hump on the back, I think they'd have a massive selling.
You're probably
Massive
right,
market. Because the bike is the same, isn't it? Although some people will say that the bike is very differently geared, and you know there are things that's only got a road and rain,
Is
whereas
it
this got
definitely
loads
geared,
of
though?
other
I don't
things.
think it is.
I don't know.
I don't think they do any change to it at all.
Don't know. But I do like these boxes. So they're from Hornig. So thanks for Hornig for sending them to us. We did pay for them. But you can get yours. We'll put the links and stuff in the description. And you said that you'd seen a couple of bikes or a bike
Quite smart.
riding with this. And it definitely wasn't me because I've only fitted them this morning.
Cool.
Or 3 weeks ago if you're into continuity. Anyway, they're the Hornig Flats, they're called. Hornig's website has got them on there. It takes quite a while for them to come because they come from Germany.
So everything's going through customs.
Yeah, and it got stuck in customs for a few days, I think. But they'll talk you through all of that, and that's not their not their fault, is it? That's customs and all the bureaucracy of everything. But great little things and make me feel a little bit slimmer, especially at Christmas. Oh. I'll have to breathe in, but the bike won't have to. So Alvin, that I've named this bike,
This is Alvin.
Alvin has got some new boxes, so we'll see how we get on. Anyway, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that sort of jazz, and we'll see you in the next video at some point.